What is up, everyone? I'm Skratch. Welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video, and good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Guys, seems like we're gonna have a guaranteed Void Legendary Champion event starting tomorrow. Now, I actually heard some rumors about it, and it seems like it is true, and maybe a lot of you guys will be tempted to go for it. If you're gonna head over to the events tab right here, it seems like nothing popped in the news for me just yet. But if you're going to head over right here, you're going to see that we have the Verdant Deck of Fate. Complete event objectives, get Clover coins, and flip cards for rewards. So it's going to be a deck of fate, guys. Now, we're going to check in a second exactly what we need to do in order to get points. Seems like it's kind of like towards the St. Patrick's Day, right? So maybe the champion is going to be in team with the St. Patrick's, or maybe it's not really going to be in team whatsoever. Either way, it's going to be a deck of fate. Usually, if you're unlucky, you're going to have to probably flip all of the 40 cards. It's not really going to be an easy job or anything like that. Now, if we're going to head over to the Plarium Play calendar right here, we're going to have basically all of the events that are starting. And as you guys can probably notice, we're going to have the Verdant Deck of Fate. Now, I know it shows an epic champion, but that is a mistake. I guess whoever plays this here is supposed to put a legendary here. Get a legendary Void champion, Khan Branch Breaker in a Verdant Deck of Fate event. Now, that champion is actually a new champion. I will have a video coming on him today. I don't really think he's related whatsoever to St. Patrick. Maybe he is, and I have no clue, but this is the champion. Is a Void Orc legendary champion, a defense-based champion. His kit is fairly interesting. I don't necessarily think he's a broken champion. His damage is pretty damn good. Feel free to check out the video that I'll be posting a bit later today. I think his damage is actually pretty damn good, but I'm gonna quickly walk you through the kit, right? So with A1, Timber Marker attacks an enemy. Before attacking, removes a random buff from the target. This effect cannot be resisted if the champion is under a shield buff. And places a block revive, which is really, really good. And he can increase the value of the shield by 30% of the damage dealt, up to 10k maximum. So that sounds pretty interesting. Block revive on the A1. Then with the A2, Bar Breaker attacks all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown. Ignores a percentage of each target's defense equal to 50% of the difference between this champion's max HP and any shields on them. Also destroys each target's max HP by 20% of the damage inflicted, stacking up to 50%. This effect will ignore any shield buffs. And basically the destroyed max HP will destroy the shield buffs, not the actual damage. At least that's what I understand from the way they are wording it in here. So basically, he can ignore a lot of defense if you have a good shield on him, and it's an AoE attack, Void Affinity. With the A3, Hardy Soul places a shield buff proportional to this champion's defense and a strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. Now we know the drill with this one. If you're looking at champions like Valkyrie, Ultimate Death Knight, Freya, they all place shields based on their own defense, right? Valkyrie having the best shield out of all of them. If he has a similar shield as well, he could put in some work. And he has the counter attack on himself as well. This will be on a 3-turn cooldown. Now, the main thing is, if you want to ignore the defense with the A2, you need a shield. So you have a couple of different options, right? Either you're going to self-buff and wait another turn before you're going to attack. Either you're going to bring in a champion like maybe a Necret or a different champion on a bolster set that can generate a shield big enough for him to actually really make a difference when he deals damage with that A2. Now, as I was mentioning, the main issue is that the current meta is just not forgiving champions that don't ignore Stone Skin, don't strip buffs, don't do anything funky, right? So I feel like that's his problem more or less. But if you are building a good team around him, you can use Fabian, for example, to go in front of him, lock the enemy skills, strip some of the buffs because decreases the duration of buffs, right? The Stone Skin is still a 50-50, or you can use a different champion to melt the Stone Skin if that's the main issue, and a shielder and an increased defense champion like a Sifi or something like that. You should be able to pull off some pretty damn strong teams with him for Tag Team Arena, Classic Arena, Live Arena. Of course, I'm not personally really expecting him to be uh, the top of the food chain. You know, he's still gonna be pretty good, but I don't think he's gonna be like a meta champion, right? With a passive, removes one random debuff from this champion at the start of their turn, which is nice. At the start of every 4th turn by this champion, removes all debuffs and places an increased defense on himself. Now, this is something that I actually don't like because 4 turns, that's a hell of a long time, man, especially for PvP, right? And as you guys can see, it's no crowd control. Maybe he's gonna be good in Hydra. That's somewhere where I actually haven't tried him with the AoE skill. I supposed to think about it, but I haven't tried that in my video. I'll give it a go, and if it's something special, I might post a different video on him tomorrow or something like that to help you decide if he's gonna be good for your account. But either way, 4 turns for an increased defense, I feel like it's way too long. It's supposed to be at the beginning of this champion's turn, or at least at the beginning of the round. So he starts directly with that increased defense. He's a Void Legendary at the end of the day, right? Then he will increase this champion's defense by 3% for each debuff removed by this skill, stacking up to 30%, which slowly can actually stack more defense, and that can be nice, right? A lot of champions that have stacking abilities tend to do a lot of damage usually. And we have a defense aura for all battles, 33%. So this is the guaranteed Void Legendary Champion for the Deck of Fate that will start tomorrow. Now, what exactly we need to do in order to get points for that? Get Clover Coins by summoning souls from Soulstones, getting artifacts, and summoning champions. Then use them to flip cards for rewards. The rarer the card, the better the reward. Happy St. Patrick's Day and happy raiding. So, Soulstones, artifacts, and summon champions. We're getting 3 options, which I think is pretty good. Now, of course, if by any chance you're dry on shards, right? If you're right here where I am, probably you're gonna have to rely on summoning Soulstones, getting artifacts. I'm not looking too great on Soulstones either, to be honest with you guys. I could potentially buy another big one. Maybe I don't really have what to sell from here. That Vitreous is not something that's convincing me to hold him. Kind of sucks like a champion as a champion anyway, so I don't know. Maybe trade it for a big stone, but I feel like that would be a mistake anyway. So most likely I won't be doing that. Now, what I'm hoping to hear from Plarium later today, because this video is coming out pretty early, is that we're gonna have a 2x on Soulstones starting tomorrow as well, or at least the day after. If not, I feel like it's gonna be a kick in the bum because, hey, opening Soulstones without a 2x feels really painful, at least for me. That was all for this video. Stay tuned for the video that I'll be dropping on the champion later on today, guys. As usual, appreciate all of you guys watching. If you enjoyed the content, smash a like, subscribe to the channel, drop a like, help with that YouTube algorithm, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.